Welcome to the Udda, where curious minds gather for deep, intentional conversations that spark new understanding. I'm your host, Deepa and founder of the Deep and Meaningful Consultancy. We believe the biggest challenge of our time demand more than quick takes. They call for nuanced dialogue, deliberate questioning, and a willingness to explore the uncomfortable. Udda is a Hindi word for that space where diverse perspectives collide and transform understanding, hopefully leading to more conscious action. In today's episode, we're speaking with Albana Meta, co-founder of Mozart Art Café and Tirana pottery studio, the first of its kind in bringing contemporary art and pottery making to Albania. After 12 years living abroad and working in the corporate world, Albana decided to return to her roots of paint and pottery. You'll hear in our conversation her passion for not only providing a space where Albanians can come together to create, but also one that provides so much more. The conversation covers what it takes not just start a venture, but to create a whole new market, believing deeply in the power of what you do and the challenges that come with it, sometimes competitive, sometimes personal. And we touch on what that means in a rapidly changing and developing city and society. Her openness to try and test ideas is infectious. What started as an offer to teach her how to make chai quickly turned into me making it for many and an invitation for people to draw Indian designs. She's quite something. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Welcome to the Udda. It is super lovely to have you here. Thank you for agreeing to do this with me.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's start with what led you to create a space where it wasn't just that people could experience art, but what drew you to that process of making and creating? Because you don't just have, it's not just an artistic studio and an art studio, it's also a pottery studio. It's also a space where you encourage other people who are making and creating to host workshops and events in your space. So it feels like that making, creating, the tangible is a really important part of what you're offering and what your gift is to the world. So
what led me to that?
Yeah. Why that? Why art?
Okay, why art? It's very personal. It has been following me since I was a kid. So since I was like 4 or 5, I have been painting. So that has followed me my entire life. And it's so many reasons. So I come from a different background. Like I used to work for a very long time in another area in corporate. But when I moved to Albania, I mean, I don't want to say I saw the gap. It wasn't just that. I mainly did it for myself. It was like a entirely personal project. Like, I want to do this.
And so you had lived abroad for
12 years.
12 years.
Yes.
And so then coming back home, so to speak.
Yeah, it is back home, yeah.
What then reconnected you back to painting or creativity?
I cannot really explain it. Up until the time I lived here, I was this art person who went to art school. For 12 years, I was a different person, and then I moved back, and I moved literally right back, as if I never left. So that's a bit of a spiritual journey that I had. Like, it's a bit, it was just in my head. It was just like, if I stay, I will either do this and nothing else. It will just be this, or I will leave again.
And go back to corporate world?
Yes. Yeah, which it's good that I didn't.
So is that like, okay, so we'll come back to the question of why art, but there's something interesting in that where the artistic side to you and the corporate side to you were two very separate things.
Very separate.
And I find that really interesting because having worked in corporate life and worked in consulting, to me, I needed to get outlets where over the years I've done ceramics or I've done mosaic classes or I've done drawing classes. And for me, like there was something about making something tangible, making something with my hands. When in consulting, you often don't. And sometimes people take your advice and sometimes people don't take your advice. I've always felt over the years that I've had to weave that in to my existence
Yes.
to nourish my soul.
Yeah.
But you had quite a kind of, you didn't weave it in, it was quite separate, you left it behind.
I literally left it behind, yes.
Why?
I just turned into another person. I cannot really explain. I was just trying to fit in and deal with my life abroad, and that's very hard no matter how much support you get, or no matter how much money you have, or how well you speak the language. It's still hard. Like if you fit in really well, then you're lonely because it's never like home. At least for me, it wasn't like that. So yeah, I kind of left that behind. I don't know why. And then in my last year there, I saw myself buying art, buying supplies, and making art again. So it was just coming to me. It wasn't like, there was no real intention initially. But then when I started showing it to people and actually doing it for other people, then it's when I realized what I'm actually doing and the impact that it was having on people, and how much I took it for granted. Like,
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
In terms of, you took it for granted in terms of how important it was to you, or the impact of it on people?
To be fair, in terms of my skill set, because people wanted to be, so this is what I observed the most, they want to be not good at it, they want to be great at it. But then also how much I took it for granted, the impact. Like for me, it was just normal to sit and paint. That's literally how I spent all of my time when I was a child, a teenager. The internet wasn't like it is today, so you were very bored, so there was plenty of time to explore, to paint, to do whatever arts and crafts projects.
Okay, so then your last year being abroad, you were kind of being called. Did that influence you coming home? Like the decision?
Maybe subconsciously. The reason I came home was because it was like a stop for me to then go somewhere else. But then when I was here, I kept telling my friends that if I stay, I'm going to do this. And I don't know how that idea was planted in my head. I don't know.
But then it doesn't feel like it was a rational call. It was it's a spirit. It was your place of where you needed to be.
Yeah. It wasn't rational.
It's really
at
powerful.
All. Yeah, to be honest, that's how I felt it. It wasn't rational at all. Like I've rationalized it and
okay, but then you could be painting on your own.
Yeah.
And you could be selling your work.
I could, but I don't want to. But yes,
but you could.
Yeah.
So, what was the desire to inspire others to paint or to create and to make, right? Because that's in the time that I've known you, the real kind of let's do this, let's try, let's test, that drive is there, right?
Yeah. Well, I think what's driving me is that I see, and I know you mentioned this, but is that I see very skeptical people at first, and then I like to say that I've converted them by the end. But what I'm trying to do, even not intentionally sometimes, is to help their relationship with themselves. So maybe I'm not being very direct about it.
Yeah.
But what I see the most is that they're very self-critical, and I noticed that like all the time. And when I don't see it, I'm like, oh, well, my job is done here. Like I have nothing to do here.
But I think it's something really powerful in that, because I mean, you've seen me in action where I tried drawing.
Yeah.
Then I rubbed it out. Then I tried drawing again, and then I rubbed it out. At which point I was like, this is too stressful, and I'll come back another day. Right?
Yeah.
And I literally, it was too much for me.
Yeah.
But I have spoken to people who I've talked to about Mozart.
Yeah.
And because I've now become a massive ambassador and advert for it. But somebody said to me that they felt super intimidated at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely know.
And then the words that she used, it was really beautiful. It was like, oh, it was such therapy.
Yeah.
And so that speaks to your point of there's something about letting go
Yeah.
of that idea of perfection.
It definitely requires a lot of vulnerability. I know that you have to be really vulnerable to even come there. Because I see people who are there and then they refuse to do it. Or somebody brought them and they're like, oh, no. This person brought me here, but I don't want...
And they don't want to engage.
Yes, but
And
I
is
make
that
them.
is that young people, or does it differ on age and gender?
It's mainly young people up until, I would say, 40s. And
You've put me in the old category there, but thank you.
No, well, no.
No, I'm kidding.
There's not a lot of clients above, yeah. Like
Yeah.
they start to get less and less, unfortunately. I wish everybody would come, but...
So the young who feel the stress, the pressure.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Gender-wise, are you asking me about, is it like which gender feels the pressure most?
Yeah.
Or, oh, it's definitely the men who feel it the most, but they also come, like, they're way less,
Yeah.
yeah, in, like, there's so much less men that come and do the activities. So.
And so go back to the desire in you of that sharing, and I think this thing that you said, which is really beautiful, of people feeling comfortable with themselves. And what drew you to that as part of the aim, or the kind of your desire in that? That's
something that I found out during the process, very early on, but that's something that I found out. So it wasn't what drove me at first. It was just like a calling, like you said. I know it sounds weird to say it, like to put it like this, but I just felt I just needed to do it.
Yeah.
But usually when I do these big leaps in life, I don't know why I'm doing them. And then once I'm done, like I'm like, oh, okay, I see now.
There was a reason.
Had to happen, yeah. So very, very early on, I learned. I saw that this is what I'm actually giving to the people. It's not just them painting. The goal is not to paint or to learn. The goal is to enjoy yourself, but deep down is also to feel at ease. Because, well, not occasionally, like all the time, I will mention to people, like, do you apply this kind of like self-criticism to other areas of your life? Like like, and they're like, yeah, how did you know that?
Yeah, because you can see it.
I can see it, yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Or sometimes I'll make a comparison, like, do you paint every day? And they'll be like, no. Then why are you so concerned about painting a great painting today or making a great pot? Like, that's not the goal. Sometimes I have to be very direct, like, and literally say it, like, you're not here to make a masterpiece.
Yeah.
You're here to just explore. Or sometimes I'll have to be like, we can just use another canvas or like other supplies. Like, we have so many, you don't have to be afraid of ruining them, which is also a fear that I also have, by the way, as weird as it sounds.
Yeah, and it is that thing of it has to be good. And that comparison, like, so when I sat there in class the other day, you know, people are looking around.
Yeah.
And then it's, oh, yours is so good, mine's so bad. Or yours is so much better than mine. And it's like, and it's really interesting being part of that conversation. And you're sort of sitting there going, I can just enjoy yours for you and what you've done without comparing it to mine. But that's because I've done a lot of work on myself, and I see it. But I did have to kind of make that point, and that was interesting to me.
You were doing my job.
I was doing your job. You weren't there.
I wasn't there, so.
But that comparison. So it's not just I'm being self-critical and I'm.
That's the next step, yeah. But by the end, you will start comparing. They're like, yeah, yours is so much better, and I look at everyone from afar. I'm like, they're all great. Like,
yeah,
yours is good and yours is good, and they're not like one is not better than the other.
No.
But yeah, and to be honest, because my clients don't believe me ever, I've rarely seen a painting that I didn't like. Like, maybe I can't think of one.
No.
I literally cannot think of one. It's not because I just like them all. It's not because they're all beautiful. It's because I know what went in there, like what you put in there. So just the time they spent there, it's more than enough actually. Nowadays, people forget they're not putting that amount of time into anything really. It's like 2 hours, 2.5, depending on the session.
Phoneless time.
Yeah, that's a very long time that you're actually investing in something.
Talk to me about the kind of Albanian market.
Okay. Well,
because this isn't something you see a lot.
No.
And so it feels like you've had to create a market. So talk to me about that, because you've identified a need and are on a kind of uphill.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm still going.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about you deciding that not just that you wanted to do this, but you're creating a market need that people don't know that they need.
Exactly.
So yeah, what made you want to do that as a business venture? Because that takes a whole level of.
Well, at first I was quite it was just my stupidity, thinking, oh, this does not exist here, so it will be good. That sounds so funny now. So it will be good, but yeah, then I quickly found out that actually I have to create the market, literally. Yeah. I like to credit myself with that. I have to be fair, there were some people here and there doing it, but there was nobody consistently doing it, and there was no space dedicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were they doing? They were doing workshops in other places?
Yeah, so like it was very random, and it was not, like I said, consistent or regular at all. And then there came this option where you could do it every day.
Yeah.
And now that I think back, I'm like, oh my God, that was so not unsustainable at all.
Yeah.
Because it all started with the paint and sip. It was only paint and sip.
So paint and sip, explain that. So what happens at a paint and sip?
You paint, so you have a canvas or a tote bag. Those are the options that we still have. And the drink of choice, back then it was only white wine or red wine or water. That was it, because it was not a bar or anything.
Yeah.
It was a space with a lot of paintings where you could paint. And depending on the clients, it's like sometimes I was very happy if a client wanted something that was like out of the ordinary, or like a bigger frame or whatever. Like they would bring me their ideas. So that was very
So
nice,
it was
actually.
a dedicated have a drink.
Yes. And paint here. Yeah.
And that was every day?
Every day, yeah. If you wanted to, I was there. Because that was my only job.
One of the things I've realized here, which I have to, it jars with me because it goes against everything that I've been teaching myself, which is you need to stay off social media.
Yeah.
Like everything here is on social media.
Yes.
Like any kind of event, shops,
you can shop on social media
or
here.
Like everything is done on Instagram.
I know.
And so for you, creating the market, it wasn't just that you had bricks and mortar, like you had a place where people could come and it was dedicated. There's also this kind of having to work social media.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As primary marketing.
Not primary marketing, primary sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my only point of sale, if I could call it that. Well, initially, like in the first few months. Then, I expanded to the international platforms and stuff, but it took a long time. Like I'm on my 4th year of doing this. So it took a while for things to get going. But yes, Instagram was for the locals, still is the only place where they find out about this thing.
And so talk to me more about this kind of, because it's not just creating, so what does it take to create a market, right? Because we're talking about the psychology of trying to convince people who've never done something before, aren't necessarily creative, that this is something that they should do.
Yeah.
And so what's that taken?
I guess, I haven't done this anywhere else. I've done this only in Albania. But the observation that I have for Albania, it's a bit unfortunate, I guess. It's making it look cool. Maybe elsewhere it would be the same. But here, what I have a problem is that things are not as they're treated more of a as a fad. I mean, you don't treat them, but they just become like a fad. So there's this new place that opened. Everybody wants to go there. Everybody wants to try it. I want to take a picture there, and then that's it.
So it's the Instagram photo type.
Yeah.
Thing.
So that was the what I see has been working, and it still works. I can see it for other things that I've done or that other people are doing. I know other people's experience may not be as great. I know coming to Musa, for example, is better, but it's being marketed in a way that looks so great. So that has been, I think, the way. Like that was key to.
So making it cool.
Yeah.
Which it is, but then how do you get people to come back? Right? Do you see what I mean? Because it's not just a one-off, right? Because you've got people who come back.
I do. I mean, with time, obviously, time has shown that people are willing to come back, and that's great. Like in the beginning, I was so grateful. Like, oh my God, you want to come back? You liked it? That's great. Still knowing that actually, like back then, I know they had a great experience, so why wouldn't they? But yeah, that's the next point, I guess. So having a great experience, which can vary depending on who's leading the session or depending on what people want to experience.
And the design of the space. I'm curious about this idea of tapping into something that people need but don't know they need. And that aspect of it, because you've said that's been a key driver for you. And how's that showing? Like, how does that show up? How does that help you kind of innovate and think? Because now, okay, so we've talked about the sip and paint, but
there's other.
Now you're doing other things.
Yes.
And so. Talk to me about that and how your kind of product offers your workshop offers have evolved.
Actually,
like, what's been the driver?
Well, adding especially the pottery side of it. That was a major addition and a very good one. It seems that at least here people think of pottery specifically as less accessible. And it used to be much less accessible. It's like you cannot try it anywhere.
Yeah.
Or you cannot even get supplies. So doing that really helped expand, and the businesses were supporting off of each other. Like that was always one of the reasons. The other one was that coming back to my previous point was that I saw that people, yes, they tried it once. I'm not saying they weren't coming back, but it wasn't as frequent. Like it cannot be as frequent. Because especially in the beginning, the range of workshops, the range of activities you could do was much narrower and they were more expensive. Yeah. So now my goal has been to make it more accessible and less expensive so more people can come. So adding pottery, for example, was just so I could add an option, not just any option. Apparently it turned out to be a very... something that people wanted.
People love it. Like,
oh yeah.
But these are kind of how often do you do? No, it's 3 times a week.
4 times.
4 times.
And I think, soon we're about to have it every day again. It used to be every day up until December. So let's just assume it's daily as well.
Which is incredible.
It is still incredible to have that kind of availability.
I don't know anywhere, but like I've not been anywhere in London or anywhere that
it's
not. But particularly with the goal of making it accessible, like from a financial,
not just financial, but yes, as a concept as well.
Yeah. So say more about that. What makes it accessible?
Now
in the way that you deliver.
Well, now it's the cafe that was my other.
Yeah.
That was even a step further to making it more accessible because the cafe will attract people that will never assume that you can do art in this space. Yeah. So you will have a coffee, but then we will attack you with art supplies. So you have no choice. Some people refuse, but I'll just leave it on the table.
And do you find that people doodle or that
they will do something. They will just try something, anything.
And so even though they've been resistant when they've got there, they will then, because it's there.
Yes, because it's there, but it's nothing, like, it's not even a doodle, it's like just a line, it could be. But it's okay, like, it's important that it's in front of you.
We've talked about this kind of creating a market and this infiltration, right, of kind of giving people the opportunity and the access to just having a go. And I think there's something about this coffee culture here that's really special. And so the fact that it's, you can do this while you have a coffee, it puts the pressure, maybe does it put the pressure off, or is it makes it easy in people's heads, like we can have a coffee and then we can do something?
Yeah, I think it removes a bit of the pressure. Well, at least it gives you the opportunity to just feel it with your hands, whether it's just paper and some pencils. There's
little that distinguishes one place from the other, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Like I have my favorite spots, but it's generally because they've got outdoor space or they've got kind of a retro vibe or whatever. But the coffee culture is quite consumption based.
Yeah.
As opposed to
lounge based.
but just experience based, right?
Yeah.
Like, because you can walk past a zillion of these coffee places and it's people looking down at their phones. Even if they're with somebody, they're looking at their phones. Yeah. And so it's quite an individualistic, and that's why I asked about the guys, because coffee culture is it's dominated, I think, by kind of a sea of men during the day.
I mean, that's a very interesting observation, because if you go a bit further to the suburbs, it's worse. Yeah, there's even more men. So for me, here in the central areas, it's very mixed and balanced, in my opinion. But then if you go a bit outwards, it's like...
But the fact that you can, but that individualisticness of have a coffee, smoke, consume whatever is on your phone, to kind of, you're changing that, because not only is it have a coffee, create something, do something, like it's an activity, but also it's communal. It's community centric, because I learnt so much the other day, because again, it was a group of women, but there were 3 girls who worked with each other and during the week, and one of them turned around and said, this is our therapy and we're doing it together.
Oh.
And it was really beautiful, right? Because they were friends and this is how they wanted to spend their Sunday. But there is something about taking an individualistic activity and creating group spaces. And I wonder about that here, the culture of that here, and whether that is also something that you're creating, which doesn't exist in other spaces so much. I don't know.
Not as much. I think there's been like an initiative, and I cannot say I was the only one contributing. I think there were, it had already started in different places. But yeah, the activity is definitely bringing the people together. Like, I had never thought of that. That's interesting.
Because I feel like that in itself is almost counterculture here in some ways.
Yeah. Sorry, because I was drifting off in my head. But that is definitely counterculture, because people, I don't think there's a tendency to try and make friends, basically. I don't think there is. So it's very difficult to do that. Or if you just talk someone up, like if you chat with someone that you don't know, it's seen as a bit like, why is this person talking to me?
Really? Because people are so friendly here.
It depends on the circumstances. Like in a place like ours, maybe, yes, definitely. But if elsewhere, I don't think it would be the same. In my opinion, at least.
But then Albanian culture is so family orientated.
Yeah, but you still stay in your nuclear.
You stay in your bubble.
Yeah, in my opinion, at least. So
again, you're you're being counterculture, right? So it's not just, I want you to come and paint, or I want you to come and do pottery, and I want you to confront yourself, and I want you to sit with yourself. It's also, I want you to have all of those feelings, and I want you to confront all of that in a group setting where you're also doing it with others, which could be confronting, but actually is really unifying because you're going through the experience together.
Yeah. To be fair, I think of that way less than I think of the personal aspect. But now that you mentioned it, yes, I've seen people actually make connections.
What do you see as being a female entrepreneur here? And thinking about yourself in that way. And I think having a physical space and having, like we talked about it the first time we met, like the pressure of now having employees. Because now you do have staff.
Yeah.
The fear on your face.
Still scares me.
But it's
1 year later.
But it is daunting when you're suddenly thinking that you've got to pay other people.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I was very conscious about this, and for the longest time, I tried to keep it like just me, just for that purpose. I knew it was going to be very heavy on me to have that kind of a responsibility. But then I did it anyway. I just had to expand, and that was it. Like the concern is real, especially when you're doing all of the other difficult things that we spoke about, like creating the market, trying to grow it, and then trying to stay competitive and trying to stay innovative, like trying to add new things. Yeah. But never knowing whether you're adding the right thing. Like you may be adding a new activity, but maybe that's not it. Maybe it's some other change or anyway, we're experimenting all the time. So yeah.
And so so you went from like your first space was, and you were doing one session a day.
Yeah, or more depending on demand. Like there has been days that was 2 or 3 people asked me to come in the morning, and I had way more free time back then. So So yes, from doing, like it went from that to managing to adding a new space with a new medium that required different types of supplies that were very, very hard to find in Albania. Like we had to ship things from abroad.
So where are you getting them from now?
Now we have clay finally here, but now there's distributors. Like it was not like this. Like demand has grown, basically, since we started.
Since you started?
Yes, demand has grown and supply has grown, obviously.
That's incredible, though.
I know, yeah, that's a huge impact actually, because when I tell this to people, they don't take me seriously. I'm like, this thing did not exist before I started it. So people were not looking for this, and now they are. And new spaces are being born that are similar. So
then now, in terms of getting clay, your supplier is from Albania.
Yeah, we use the local clay, but there's so much other stuff. Like there's glazes, underglazes, some tools that you literally could not find them here. We used to buy them online whenever we traveled. Yeah. And now I find them at one of the biggest suppliers here in Tirana, and they didn't have them before.
So that's incredible.
That is quite the shift. It's like you couldn't find sponges, literally, the round sponges.
But you're saying this in a very kind of blasé way.
I know.
You're being really kind of tongue-in-cheek about it, as opposed to owning your shit and saying, actually, we were the trailblazers, or you were the trailblazer in creating that demand, because that's a big deal.
I know, but it's hard for me to come to grasp it as well. Like, because for me, it just keeps hitting me very fast. Like one day, like I'm struggling to find some tools, and the next day they're available. But also, I see new competition. I see new things that are coming up. I'm like, oh, okay. It's so many things that, and I forget that
you're part of that.
I'm part of the reason actually that this happened.
And so, is that relationship with suppliers? Is that relationship creating a community? Like, do you all talk to each other, like the other creatives who are?
No.
Oh, so talked about that.
No, there's beef.
Love it. Okay, so talk to me about the beef.
Maybe not directly.
That's interesting. Okay, get into that.
Oh my god, it's a bit like it's people who have like sprouted after like
Because they've seen you you grow.
And we've had them also as guest teachers or as clients.
Yeah.
So we know who they are very well, or as employees as well. That has also happened. And they are all doing a version of what we do.
Okay, because you're laughing, but actually it's not funny. Like,
it's not funny enough. Yeah, I'm laughing now. At first I was like very mad.
Because it's great that there is a market.
Yeah, that I created. Mm-hmm. But I definitely felt the impact of them appearing. Definitely.
In terms of loss of business?
Yes.
And so, tell me why and what that means for you. Because, like you're saying, right, the more people that are working in pottery or working in art, the more supply, like the supply and demand angles.
That's the upside. I mean, I'm very aware, and I did go to business school. After all, like, I'm very aware that competition is also helping me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if they're spreading the word, the probability of clients coming to me is still higher than if it was just me spreading the word.
Sure.
So they're spreading the concept as well. So they're helping and working towards expanding, like literally explaining what the concept is.
Yeah.
So now more people know what it is. Because that was the hardest thing in the beginning. So that's helpful. And also, yes, I actually forgot about now we have more supplies. Actually, it's way more accessible now. It's much easier. Like, I don't have to travel. I don't have to scout. Things are so much better from that point of view.
And so this, like the beef angle of it.
Like I said, there's no direct beef, but obviously I'm aware that they exist. And they know I exist, obviously.
And so it's really interesting, right, of where there is a competitive mindset versus a collaborative mindset. And
I collaborate with people who I don't have a conflict of interest with, obviously.
Yeah, but is there anything where actually collaborating would be beneficial for showcasing work or funding for something? Or do you know what I mean? Like, you can have pre-competitive collaboration, right? You can have showcasing so that it doesn't feel confrontational rather than, so it feels collegiate.
Yeah, I haven't found that. We haven't gotten to that space yet. The only people in the field we collaborate with, it's either suppliers or they are doing another bit of the work that doesn't interfere with ours. That's the only way we're collaborating. Like, we're joining forces to make something better.
And talk about that.
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, since we're expanding the place, like the pit, not expanding. We've done it.
Yeah.
The place is bigger. Obviously, it's best to use it for more stuff.
And is there anything like that you think? And again, those are food related, right? So then it's not artistic in the same way that it's competitive. Yeah. But again, I think there's something really beautiful in that space to create. Right, in all of the guises of what artistic creation is, and cooking to me is definitely part of that. It's that kind of come together, like people who cook together and eat together is.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it's the basis of community.
We have an Albanian expression that goes like, "Oh, we've had food, we've eaten at the same table," meaning that we're very close.
Yeah.
So.
Right, and so maybe there's something about people who create artistically together in terms of at the same table.
Yeah, I agree. I need to think. When we've done that before, it has backfired on us, literally.
Say more. In what way?
Literally, the person was like illuminated that they can do this, and they went on and did it, and now they're our competitor. So, This is why we choose carefully.
Because you think that by they've used you to showcase themselves?
No, we never thought it would go that way. Never. Like it was someone who was making clay objects and jewelry, I think, or no, all kinds of clay things.
Yeah.
And they were just making it to sell. And they were like, we wanted them, we invited them to be a guest, a guest teacher, to teach a special holiday.
Yep.
And now it's a whole...
And now they're teaching jewelry making?
No, the whole clay process, just like we do.
Okay, so they've set themselves up.
Yeah, so... but like I said, the market is still very small. Like no matter how much we try, it can only grow as much, I think.
Oh wait, so talk about that, because that was the conversation we had the first day we met. Mm-hmm. Because, and my comment to you was because I think the first day I came in, there were two British girls who were on holiday, and they'd found you on Instagram, and so I asked about the tourist market. Mm-hmm. And so even though I think the tourist market are finding you,
yes,
that feels like that doesn't please you because you want the Albanian market to be finding you. Or is it both?
The space for the locals.
Yeah.
Literally. That was my initial thought. I never thought tourists would be interested. Like I said, it was very personal. And I was I would like Albanians to have like an alternative, to just have coffee or go out to dinner.
Yeah.
I want them to entertain themselves with something else. It's literally my first vision and mission.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was to get them out of the coffee shops. That was something that I used to say. So it's great. Obviously, it's great that I'm getting visitors, tourists. Everybody's absolutely welcome. Mm. But yes, I really wanted the Albanians to have this new space that they had never had before.
What's your wish and your desire for your own expansion? Mm-hmm. But again, like you were saying, you've iterated and you're testing new ideas based on what you're seeing the need to be, right, in the market. Like you said, you've got an MBA, you know, where are you seeing the kind of gaps and the opportunities for you to tap into?
That's interesting. Let me think. Oh, yeah, I know where.
Go.
But it's not very arts related. It's more of it's entertainment related now. But it's not directly related to what I'm doing. There's all kinds of things that I do, not on the side. They're from the same space, but like, it's basically entertainment for companies, retreats. So that was part of the initial vision that I had for this. This is what I thought. I want to have this space where people can paint and drink wine, and then I also want to host team buildings. So that's the next step for us. But I mean, it's not directly related. But it's a good base to start from.
But what do you mean it's not directly related? But like, would you use art and?
It would be part of, yes, but not only.
Okay.
That's the only. It's a typical team building activities
And that to me would be huge in terms of the psyche of corporates.
Yes, because I know here they have a huge gap there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, yeah. I mean, there's some options on the market, but I don't think they're doing enough.
And in terms of what you want to bring to that, again, going back to the kind of idea of, like, you've used phrases like safe space, people connecting to themselves. And these are things that are really interesting in the fabric and the culture here, I think. And when I've spoken to people, they do talk about this kind of hardness or the harshness of the history and how that affects society, or how it affects a collective identity and a collective experience. And like I was saying to you, like, it's blown my mind how I just keep meeting phenomenal Albanian women who are just getting shit done.
True.
And are the entrepreneurs or are working in democracy building and transparency and anti-corruption and all of these areas are filled with phenomenal Albanian women. And so shifting mindsets and the kind of the fabric of institutions, which is what you're talking about now, right? By offering team retreats or team experiences, feels like a fundamental part of healing. I don't know if that's too big a word.
No, I think it's appropriate.
Or whether it's where you're going with it.
I mean, I never thought about it as healing, but we definitely need that. We are very, like, even the day-to-day is still very harsh. Like, it's not just the history, it still haunts us, in my opinion. Like, I face a lot of harshness every day. Tell me
more about that.
It's just in the small interactions, like, I will smile at a person or like a neighbor, and I'm met with the angriest face.
Really? But is that because of what you're doing, or is it because
I'm talking about random people, or like while driving, but this is like part of much of a bigger change of mindset.
And talk to me about, somebody else has said about the entrepreneurial experience of people aren't happy if you do well.
Oh yeah, true.
Is that a thing?
I think so. Yeah, unfortunately.
Is that gender related?
I never thought about it that way. It's definitely harder for women. I don't have an opinion about that. Whether it's like they want women to fail and men to not, to succeed.
But the kind of that feeling of people don't celebrate successes. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that would diminish them, for sure.
So how do you celebrate and acknowledge your successes?
Yeah, see, that's an interesting question. I don't know how. I'm very disconnected to that. How do I celebrate them? I don't know. I don't know. What I'm trying to think is that I'm at least surrounded by people who support me, whether it's men or women, and at least now they don't think this is just for fun anymore.
Is that what they thought at the beginning?
Yeah. But how do I celebrate them? I don't have a response.
I think the response is not well.
Could be.
Not so well. Because you are on your third premises, and you've grown.
Yes.
So even if it's not as much as you want to or feel the potential is, like that, then you're constantly pushing a state of dissatisfaction, which is an entrepreneurial staple, right, in the psyche of being an entrepreneur. But there is also something about celebrating achievements that I think, particularly as women, we don't do as well and as much. So maybe there's something in finding.
Yeah. I thought about something similar of creating like a support group for entrepreneurs here, but then it would still be me doing it.
I think there is something to that. I'm really keen to support in any way that I can a space for entrepreneurs to share and learn and
maybe we can do that
and grow with each other.
Yeah,
because I think there's something really lonely about it.
It's very lonely. Like, thank God I have a business partner, and that she's the only person who understands. She's not the only person who understands, because I talk to my suppliers and stuff, and some of them, they are the entrepreneurs. And I can see that we have the same problems, like at a personal level.
How are you looking after yourself?
Currently, I'm just coming out of a period of not looking after myself. So now I'm taking small steps into reintroducing some small things. One of them is just going back home early, which is like 7 or 8. That's early. It used to be much later, like midnight. I'm trying to take small trips. I'm trying to reconnect with friends. I've also not lost my friendships, but I can tell they're left behind, because my friends are always reaching out and I'm not. I never have the time.
Yeah, you don't have this, but it's not just time, it's capacity, right? It's space.
Yeah, I'm also trying to make some phone calls. Like I used to call some specific people in my life very often who are not very close. And now for the longest time, every time I thought about it, I was like, oh, no. But now I'm just doing it. Well, the cafe will be 1 year old in May, which means that I've been very focused in doing that for more than a year, because we started in December of 2024. That sounds so long ago. But yeah, that's when we started working on it, and then in May it eventually opened. So in the span of time, I've literally forgotten about other things, but now it's like a bit balanced. So balance is a strong word, but
then the thing is, it's like what you do with that time, right? It's like
with the new time?
With the new time, because now you're planning version 4.0.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna rush into it, but I'm also taking steps. Like it's gonna be like a blended thing. So fortunately, it will not be very like brand new, because it's already kind of there. The structure is already there. I just need to distance myself from.
So this point about like creating a hub or a network for entrepreneurs here, again, like going back to this point about competition and this kind of
seeing my competitors
beef and no beef.
Yeah.
And again, it's the mindset shift, right? Of seeing people as collaborators rather than competitors in a negative.
Yeah.
You're going to steal my idea type of way.
Yeah.
Having that space where there's sharing, but also creating, right? Opportunities. What would you say is, I guess, I'm wondering whether to frame this in a negative or the positive. I'm trying not to frame, because there are barriers to that, right? In terms of people feeling like they don't want to share, or that they're hesitant to share. Because people I've spoken to, it's interesting, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, we do want that space. But then when you ask people to come and show up in that kind of space, they're hesitant. And so I wonder about given you are a creator of spaces, what would you wish for or hope for in terms of the spirit and the design of that kind of collaborative dynamic?
Well, how do I put this? Well, to be fair, when I've thought about that, I've thought about more of the human side of it than yes, we are entrepreneurs and we share similar problems, like we all have employees or landlords. I just want to be able to rant.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah. That was my initial motivator.
Okay.
Because I talked to several, and it was just just chit chat, and I was like, oh, we need a support group because we're having so much. Yeah. But
it is, and I think there is sometimes, like, my consultant brain goes into solution providing, and sometimes you just need to be heard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not looking for an answer necessarily, or you're not looking for somebody to fix anything, and that can be all you need. To finish, I think it'd be really nice to talk about your hope for the people who come and use your space.
Oh, okay, that's like my favorite part. I wish they knew how much, I wish they would value themselves more. I know it's a very small portion that I'm seeing, but I wish they notice, from the time they come in until the time they leave, they're much lighter, they're happier, and I know they have a different self-opinion. I can feel that, and they're very surprised with themselves. So I wish they would be more conscious of that, to notice this. What else? Oh, I wish they would literally just congratulate themselves for just taking the time, literally taking the step to come.
I love the irony of I want people to celebrate themselves. coming from you.
Well, it's always, isn't that always the case?
Yes, it is.
Is it literally? So, yeah. So, I mean, I'm very aware of that, by the way. I know I'm lagging. I know I'm very behind.
I'm just teasing you.
Oh, it's okay, it's okay. It's very hard for me to stay connected with myself because I'm always pouring into others. So now I'm so empty. It's been like for the longest time.
And so that's part of your being able to delegate now and that looking after yourself.
Yes, but that's hard because I started this project with a lot of passion and love. It's like a baby, literally. So now it's very unthinkable to give my baby to someone. I mean, I've done it, but yeah, I've learned to let go. I cannot believe that I've done that because I used to be a very big control freak.
I think part of being a successful entrepreneur is having that little bit of distance or having that little bit of space.
Yeah.
And being okay with the imperfection.
Yes. Well, at first I didn't know this. I thought it meant to always be there. But yeah, but then I saw how it became so hard to do anything. Like even now, I think I should distance myself more. Now it's okay, but for quite a while, I just couldn't see, and I'm pretty sure I still can't see what can be done better. Like I think only but someone who is not me, but who is capable of doing it.
Anything else for the people who come into the space? What I'm more hopeful of. I mean, this will sound very obvious, but yes, I just want them to try stuff. Just risk it, just try it. Yeah. Literally, there's nothing that can happen from you playing with clay. Like, nothing bad will happen. Some people will be worried to not get themselves, dirty, or some others will be afraid of failing. Literally, you're failing at something you don't know. So, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
I think that's really beautiful. I like that as quite a nice place to
fail.
Well, but I think it comes back to this idea of testing. You've talked about testing and iterating and trying as an entrepreneur. And I think this idea of what's the worst that can happen it's kind of like, it's just words to live by.
Yeah, I mean, even when I like to compare some different times in my life. It's not very long, but like I was 24 with nothing to lose, and I was so afraid to risk doing something creative. I used to experiment back then with making cosmetics and soaps and creams. And then at 30, which is not much later, I had way more to lose, and I still did it. And then when I started this, I had all of my savings and stuff, and I was like, oh, whatever, like, I'm just gonna consider this money gone, just gonna do it. Whatever happens, happens. And also I left like 10 years of career that was like, I assumed I could always go back to that. Maybe I can, I don't know, maybe I won't, have no idea. But yeah, I mean, I think you can reinvent yourself as many times as you need to and start over. It's never late. Never. And I'm so concerned that I used to think that at 24, that I was just thinking that it's too late for everything. That's terrible.
But that's
terrible.
But it's interesting though, that is the conditioning, maybe. But again, it's going against that grain. And I think, like, which has come up, that as a theme has come up a lot in this conversation of breaking boundaries or stepping outside and stretching. You're not just stretching other people, you're stretching yourself as you do this. And maybe there is something about you having done it, and therefore you've got an ability to then show up and stretch other people in a nurturing way.
Yeah, I mean, I've gained the perspective for sure. That's how I like to think about it. And I'm always Whether I hope people don't mind it, I don't know, but I'm always giving them my example if they're afraid of doing something or trying something out. Yeah. But to be fair, I also understand what it's like to be them. Sometimes I put myself in that situation to like try something new and I'm like, oh my God, it's so hard.
But I think there's something beautiful about doing that exploration with art and with something creative. And I think, like I was saying at the beginning, there's something about, like, I've made the pots, or I've got the mosaic, I've got the pictures or paintings that I've produced. And sometimes people are wonky, sometimes something's not quite right, and that's okay, but it's the joy of having done something and having tried something and having tested something. That's the fulfilling bit.
Yeah.
I think this creativity and this the fact that I want this to be accessible and I want this to be experienced by as many people as possible, I think is a really beautiful, beautiful thing. And
I agree.
It's such a gift.
Yeah, I mean, well, thank you. Thanks. I agree, but I also, I think now I've come to notice that people are noticing the value of the benefits that art will bring you, like in this way, like just to know yourself better, to know others, to come to some conclusions that it's definitely maybe the nicest, the softest way to learn some things that otherwise you could learn like very harshly. But it requires a lot of repetition, a lot of consistency, which was one of my biggest problems. Because like I said in the beginning, yes, clients are returning, but I would like it to be more frequent because I would like them to do this more, which comes to making it more accessible for them.
Sure.
So yeah, I think it's all coming together. I mean, it's been almost 4 years, so it was about time.
Yeah, but it's trial and error, right? It's something new.
Oh, that's definitely, that's how I like to do things
Yeah.
in my life, so yes.
But I think you're doing phenomenally.
Thank you.
I like spending time there. So, even though I'm not the demographic.
Yeah, you are.
But,
everyone is.
But that's
well, except, sorry, this will sound except kids. Like, I don't want kids there. I know it sounds bad.
You do want.
I don't want.
You don't want kids there.
No.
It's a grown-up only space.
Yeah, I want adults to feel like they have their own space with no kids around. Whether you have them or not, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want.
You don't. That's really interesting though.
I'm not stopping them, obviously, but yeah, it was created with adults in mind, like the space, all of the spaces. Yeah. The other reason is also that I think that in Albania there's plenty of options for kids. So just, you can stick to them, please.
It's really important.
It is important, yeah.
But I think also that idea of play for adults.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right? That curiosity and play and wonder is sometimes something that we forget about.
Oh, yeah.
And so the fact that you've created a space that is genuinely beautiful, genuinely fun, people come with curiosity and they question themselves and they learn something about themselves and they go home with something tangible.
Yeah.
And they can say, I did this, is massive.
I get a lot of clients who are like, always wanted to do this and my parents didn't let me. That's the most common thing that I will hear, which is very sad. I mean, at least you could do it for fun.
It's a traditional mindset. Yes. But that's really beautiful. So the fact that people want to come and do things and now they're finding a space.
Yeah, coming from somewhere else for like a long time, what I noticed that was kind of missing here, maybe it's just me, I don't know, but people had way more hobbies where I used to live. And here, like I said, like more time is spent in cafes or just leisure, like. So I'm just trying to tie this with the lack of, like, not lack of, but like wanting to express yourself, but still not knowing how to. Like, I don't see a lot of options. Not options. It's growing now, but I'm hoping people will actually find like not just a creative outlet, just an outlet. It can be, it can be sports, like whatever. But it feels like in the recent years it has started growing, at least in my opinion.
So a move away from consumption-based living, and by consumption I don't just mean buying. I mean it's that kind of, again, it's social media or those kinds of, to something quite, do something, play something, experience something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that continues to grow. I still see it like it has way more space to grow, basically. Like I said, where I just can make this comparison. People seem to be into a wider variety of hobbies and more into their hobbies, more passionate about them. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to see here. Whether it's artistic or not, that doesn't really matter.
But have something.
Yeah, have something that it's for you, and it's not your work or your relationship, or it's just for you.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. If this conversation sparked something in you, don't let it end here. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it, or better yet, gather your people and dive deeper into these ideas together. The world changes one meaningful conversation at a time. If you'd like to join one of our group order sessions, keep an eye on our website, which is www.deepandmeaningful.co, or sign up to our monthly newsletter and be the first to know what's coming up. The Udder is brought to you by the Deep and Meaningful Consultancy, and our music is from the song Unreasonable World by Bernard Schimpelsberger.